Okay, hi guys. I am so dang excited for tonight. I feel like I start every Zoom like that, just talking about how excited I am, but it is so exciting to bring on new girls onto our team Zooms every single week. And I am so pumped to bring this girl on a Zoom. Let me tell you, I have fun to have this girl on a Zoom her first month. Like, she's freaking incredible. And let me tell you, this girl has a beautiful comeback story, and she is going to start with telling you her story. Her name is Tabitha. She is on my team. She actually joined me in September. I will probably start every introduction like this, but the girl joined me on the first day of my honeymoon. Probably just kicked off my whole entire Christmas cash that we had going on. You guys know that was the first day of Christmas cash. She joined on the very first day that it was announced, and she didn't want to miss out. You know what I mean? Like, I was loud about it even on vacation, and she didn't want to miss out on this new program and everything that our company had to offer. And I was just so excited because it's so crazy. That was like, I think it was like the 7th, and that was the first she was the first distributor I signed for September. So obviously she's been in this business a little over 6 months. So she is going to really be talking to you guys tonight about how to work your business in your first 30 days, getting that first goal. And then can I get some ones for those of you who, you know, have been in it for maybe a month, couple of months, or maybe even a couple of years, and you just feel stuck in your business. You don't know what to do next. You don't know how to stay consistent, but yet stay like fresh. You know, you need all of those tips. So if that's you, please drop a 1 below, because she's going to be speaking directly to you tonight. So please give her your full attention. Get ready to take some notes. And like I said, let's pray that this stays recorded, but I'm super excited. So I'm going to have her start with her story, and Tabs, I'm going to unmute you, babe.
Hi, so my name's Tabitha. That was quite the introduction, so thank you, Haley. So I did join in September, but something that a lot of people don't know is that I was a distributor for about 2.5 years. I joined originally in 2019, and so the original reason why I joined was for the extra money. I was working 3 jobs, and I couldn't even afford the low-income apartment that I was in. I was paying more for a bag of dog food every month than I was paying for groceries for myself. And really, enough was enough with that. Like, I couldn't keep going in that same circle. I saw a girl posting on Instagram, so I literally just signed up, no questions asked. She didn't even like send me information. I didn't know what company I was joining. I was like, here's my credit card, let's go. So it wasn't really the right time for me. I didn't really do as much the first time around as I would have wanted. It took me a year to go Ruby, and I maintained it the month that I went Ruby. And after that, I didn't maintain it at all. And last year, just a lot of life hit me. We moved like 3 times in the course of like 2 months, and it was so stressful. We had a passing in our family, and I just ended up canceling my account, and I was like, I'm done with this. I can't take on the extra stress. And sure enough, Haley's feed just kept popping up and popping up every single day. And I was like, I feel like I want to give this another chance. And so white mocha cold brew came out, and I was like, all right, I'm getting that. I couldn't sign up again because you had to wait a certain amount of time in between. And I told Haley, I'm like, I'm going to be a customer and I'm going to rejoin you. And she's like, well, you got to wait a while because it's like 180 days. But when I had canceled my account, somebody in corporate messed up and sent me an email that said 90 days to wait. And it was supposed to be 180. And I kept telling Haley, I'm going to join, I'm going to join, I'm going to join. And she's like, it's not going to let you. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, just send me your website. I'm just going to keep trying. And I didn't know she was on her wedding honeymoon, and I was blowing up her phone. I'm like, what magic do you have? I am signing up. And she's like, I don't have any magic. Like, you can't sign up. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I emailed corporate, I emailed compliance, and I'm like, this is the email you sent me. I would like to sign up right now. And they ended up fixing it for me. And I signed up while I was at work, and I sent her a screenshot. I'm like, all right, what's next? And she's like, what? She's like, how did you even do that? And so here I am. back in the company, and I went Ruby 4 months in, right after I quit my job. I really had no intentions of leaving my job. I was at a job I really loved. I got to work with dogs every day. And for those of you that don't personally know me, dogs are my life. So I just ended up having some issues with one of the coworkers who ultimately like tried to attack me at work 2 days before Christmas. And I looked him in the eyes and I'm like, I'm not interested in this. I'm just gonna go. And I just walked out mid-shift, texted Haley. I'm like, all right, so I'm full-time rap girl. What do we do now? And I just kept going. And I went Ruby in January. And now I am pushing for Diamond, going for this Diamond bonus that we have this month, pushing for Success bonus, going for Punta Cana. And yeah.
Can we just give her some love in the chat? Because if y'all did not hear how much this girl fought to be on my team, you were missing it. You missed the whole story. Like, I was literally blown away when she texted me. And yes, just to preface, she didn't know that I was on my honeymoon. She didn't know I was getting married. The only people that did is like 2 close friends and like my family. Like, I didn't tell a lot of people. And so it was just so crazy. Like, just never forget, like, waking up honeymoon morning, like, text from Tabitha saying she joined my freaking team. I'm like, heck yeah, this is what I love to see. So it was just crazy. Like, it all felt like, I was like, this is God. Like, this girl is supposed to be here. She's been watching me for so long. And on top of that, she just felt like the first time wasn't her time. And it all felt just like God moved the mountains for her to be on my team. And when it was supposed to happen. And it's just crazy because if she would have waited in the timeline that it would have been, she wouldn't have been able to really join until this year at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of January. So it's just crazy to think that like she's accomplished so much. You know, like you said, Tabs, like you went from part-time to full-time because of the job that you thought that you would love and you would enjoy every single day. But because of some obviously certain circumstances, she was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this. And it's just so amazing that you were able to leave. You were so brave. Like, can we give her some love in the chat? Brave, so brave for just walking out of your job. Like, I didn't ever do that. I'm so proud of you for just like up and being like, bye guys, I'm not dealing with this. And you knew you deserved better, and you knew that you deserved so much more. And so I'm so glad that you just left that day and you never looked back. And now she's able to make a reliable, stable income from her phone, you guys. And it's just so amazing. I love that she's only literally an hour away from me, so we get to hang out too, which is just so awesome. If you guys are able, find people in your area, because I think that is so important. Like, obviously I had no idea that she had just moved here, but obviously, you know, again, but God, and he made it to where we could obviously spend time together. And I just love so much your story of just like coming back and giving it a second chance and doing things differently. You know what I mean? And so I have one question. This actually wasn't even on like obviously the questions that I sent you. I know I sent you one, but it was just from your story. I thought this was so good. You talked about like why like you went from part-time to full-time, right? So I just have a question. Were you like scared to go full-time?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I've never just walked out on a job before. I've always like had something lined up, had given 2 weeks notice, and like just back to back. So just like walking out like that, I was like, crap. Like, I was literally like 2 hours into my shift and I'm like, no, thank you, goodbye. But I just ran with it because what else was I supposed to do?
That's so amazing. And I wanted you to say that you were scared because, you know, I've been told, even on our team, I've been told from girls from other teams that'll come to me, swipe up on my stories and be like, girl, I wish I could do what you do and just leave my job and leave school. And I'm like, you can. You know, we didn't do it without fear. Trust me, our faith was just bigger than our fear. So I just wanted you to touch on that because I feel like there are people that do want to change their situations and do want to go full time with this business, but they are scared. So just know that you were too. I feel like that provides some comfort. So obviously you've been in this business for over 6 months. What has kept you going past like that first bonus? So when you joined, 4 and 1 had just started, right? And it took you like pretty much the full month to get your 4 and a friend. And obviously I feel like that even you were kind of like, oh, I expected it to get it like in a couple of days or in a week. I know that was your goal because that's what you wanted to do. But obviously, how did you keep going? Like after you got your 4 and a friend in your first 30 days, like what really has kept you going in this business past that first goal?
I just keep focusing on my why, and my why, Haley will be the first one to tell you my why changes every single day. Every day I text her and I'm like, my mom just told me she thinks I'm moving in and I'm not moving in when my rent goes up. Like, no. So it literally changes every day. So at first it was the 4-in-1, and then it was, when I had switched from over the summer, I switched from working at Whole Foods for several years to working at a pet resort. And I took a significant pay cut. So after the 4 and a friend, it was, okay, well, I need to make up my income difference. And then I obviously walked out of my job. I'm like, well, now I need to make up that income difference. And, I want to pay off credit card debt. I want to pay off student loans. I want to go on vacations. I want to be able to bring my boyfriend home from work. He works at Whole Foods. It's not a fun place to work. So I would love to take him home so he doesn't have to deal with that. And, obviously with inflation and everything, our rent's going up, and I want to be able to make enough where that doesn't affect us and stress us out, and I don't want to have to worry about what if I have to move in with my mom. That's scary. Like, that's scarier than quitting my job. That's a no, I'm not doing that. So coming up with new whys is what keeps me motivated to keep pushing forward and doing more.
I love that so much because I feel like we come in and drop a 2 if you struggled with this. You come in and you like hit that first goal, right? Or you hit that first like why, right? Or drop a 3 if your why became your excuse, right? Maybe you joined because you want to spend more time with your kids. Now you find yourself telling your leader, and it's okay to admit this because I've done it, right? I did it. I used to say I didn't want to work jobs at school. And then I would tell my leader, hey, my jobs at school are like really like a lot right now, right? And so maybe you've got, kids, or you know what I mean, you've got other jobs, and you started to use the reasons that you joined the business for your excuse of why you're not working anymore. And that's why it's so important to change your why. So I'm so happy you said that, because you're right. Like every week she's texting me like, hey, I need money for like gas today, so I'm going for that cash bonus. You know what I'm saying? Like I love so much that you have specific goals tied to the 4-in-1 system, tied to the success bonus, tied to even Punta Cana. This girl's like, I'm going on vacation with you. Like I will be there. And so going off of that, you did miss the success bonus by 1 requirement. And this is for me, I was like, do I ask her this on a Zoom? Do I talk about this? But let's talk about this, because at the end of the day, like I'm so proud of you because you literally just bounced back so fast and just started running for the next one. Like there wasn't even a second for me to be like, oh, Tabitha, it's okay. Like you were like, all right, next success, but like, let's go. Like I'm not missing this one. You know what I'm saying? Like you were just so like, gung-ho about all of it and just ignorance on fire. So tell me like what really like, I feel like that can cripple somebody. That can take somebody out. Them missing money like that can really just be like, I missed it. That was supposed to happen. This is it for me. What made you feel like I'm going for the next one already? Like you bounced back so fast.
I guess what made me bounce back is that I haven't really been looking at the success bonus as my income. I've kind of just been looking at it like I want to help other girls on my team get their bonuses. And I was 1 tier 2 from a success bonus. I could have placed for that and enrolled on someone else's site, but I chose not to because that's not teaching my girls how to earn their bonuses. If I'm giving them customers or distributors, I'm not teaching them how to make an extra income. And yeah, that's great. Maybe they got the extra 150, but now they haven't learned how to do it themselves. And then they're just going to get discouraged because they don't know how to do what they joined to do. So I just keep going. And if I get the success bonus, it's because I've taught my girls, and it's because my girls are making money with me and not just me enrolling and doing it myself.
I love that. I love that so much. And we've been talking so much about duplication on our team and really working with our girls. And, we've talked about it. We've talked about, obviously, if girls are doing amazing and they've got 5 customers and they're short of the 240, of course, help them. You know what I mean? Like, give them that customer, but don't be giving them everything. You know what I mean? Because that's not why they joined. They didn't join so that you could spoon feed them all of their success. At the end of the day, they need to earn it. And for me, I remember us even talking about your Ruby promotion because you were really close the month prior. Like, what was it? Like, you were like 100, or was it like a little bit more than that?
Yeah, in December it was like 180.
Just 180 from Ruby, you guys. 180 from Ruby. And like, leaders to leaders, some girls would be like, "Oh, I'll just do that for them. Let me help you out." But at the end of the day, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. And then you were literally sky high in volume in January, helping your girls and just honestly just changing so many lives left and right that I like couldn't even keep track. I was like, holy cow. And it's just so amazing the example you're setting for your team to help other women, right? And they have to help themselves. We're here every step of the way, but we're not their boss. We don't tell them when to work. We don't do the work for them. They do it. And they get to say, I did it. You get to say, I went Ruby, right? You're going to be able to say, I got a success bonus. I'm going to Punta Cana. Nobody did it for you. I didn't do it for you. You know what I mean? Cassie didn't do it for you. Nobody did it for you. And that's the beauty of this business is your hard work is rewarded for everything. It's not like she missed out on all the bonuses, right? You didn't miss out on any of the 350s or the 150s. You still got all that. All those still went to Punta Cana, but now you're even more fired up to train even more girls and work with even more people every single day. So I just love that, Tabs. What are your non-negotiables? This was actually something that somebody reached out and asked me to ask you. What are your non-negotiables every single week for you to bring in these enrollments every week? Because you're always blowing up the team chat every week. She is, by the way, the biggest hype woman in our team chat. I just have to say that. She's the first one. She's the first one. She's ready. Like, as soon as somebody is like, oh, I got this customer. Here's Tabitha. Me, good job. Like, she's so excited. So what is like your non-negotiables that you're doing every day to bring in those enrollments and obviously teach your girls to do the same?
So pretty much it's the same thing every day that goes into the whole week. So I cold message on Facebook and Instagram. I grow my market every single day on both platforms. I do follow-ups every single day. I post consistently on my stories. And
I'm going to interrupt you. Tab, do you feel like doing that every day? When you wake up every day, do you feel like cold messaging or following? Like, do you feel like following people all the time?
Not at all.
Yeah. So again, what pushes you through that? What pushes you through to do that? Because I feel like every girl on here is like, yeah, I've messaged, I've followed. What pushes you through to stay consistent with that?
It just goes back to my why. Because if I don't do that, I'm not going to bring in customers. I'm not going to get weekly bonuses. I'm not going to get commission checks. And I'm going to get stuck living with my mom and working at Whole Foods again. So I don't want to do any of that. I like being home. I like staying in my little bubble with no one bothering me all day. I'm an introvert and I like sitting with my dog on the couch. She lays on my lap all day. That's what I want to do every day. So if I have to send out 100 messages and follow 50 people, post a couple TikToks, I'm going to do that to sit on my couch all day with my dog.
Heck yeah, I freaking love that. I just had to stop you. You can keep going with the non-negotiables, but I just had to stop you there because I feel like everyone's like, okay, we've heard this. She follows, she messages, she follows up. Awesome, awesome. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff. So keep going though, keep going. Tell me a couple more things like that are your non-negotiables that you do.
I also do life posting and I do TikToks. Right now I'm posting like 4 to 6 TikToks and Facebook reels every day. And I just started doing Instagram reels too. So I'm doing like 2 of those every day. But that's just what I do every single day. And that's how I'm bringing in all my customers.
Love that. Love that so much. I saw that someone dropped a question. They said, do you follow up every day with the same person? Like, so the same person you're talking to, do you follow up with them every single day or do you do every other day? What is like your follow-up system when you've got somebody who is like gonna order or maybe, was like ghosting you? How do you follow up with them?
So I follow up with people 5 days in a row. I got this from Nayara and this is like the best thing that I've ever seen anybody do. So I do follow up with people for 5 days in a row. And then I kind of just let their message, if they didn't respond to me by the 5th follow-up, I just let it go back, because I know that like month end, I typically scroll back like a month or two in my Facebook and Instagram, and I'll just send like a different kind of follow-up, like a distributor follow-up or some sort of specific product follow-up, something like that. So I know they're going to end up in my inbox at some point again.
Perfect. Love that so much. So what's your biggest piece of advice for someone who's in their first 30 days, who's really trying to understand this business, fit it into their schedule? Can I get some ones if you're within your first 30 days or your first 2 months? Drop a one if that's you, because she's going to speak directly to you, because I feel like, we get to this point to where we hit the 4-in-1, maybe we hit it twice, maybe 3 times, or maybe we're still going for it. And it just, wow, we got a lot of people in their first 30 days. And we just don't know like what to do, like fitting it into our schedule. Like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? So what's your biggest piece of advice for them as far as like fitting it into their schedule, organization, and just trying to understand this business and how it works in their life?
So I feel like one of the biggest things is going to be to really think about why you really joined. Like, it's great to think about the money, like, oh yeah, I made my money back, or I want to make $200 or $300 a month, but really focus on what's that money going to. Is it paying off a certain bill every month? Is it diapers? Is it putting food on your table? What is it physically going to? So you can see it's not just a dollar sign, it's a physical thing that you can actually do something with. And realizing that as busy as you are, you have a few minutes here and there. No one's telling you to sit at a desk for 8 hours just on your phone. Like, that's not what you have to do. When I worked at Whole Foods, when I like first started doing this a few years ago, I was cake decorating. I had my hands in icing all day, so I couldn't use my phone when I worked there. And then I was driving an hour to my second job, so I couldn't use my phone while I was driving, but I would listen to Zooms in the car. I would listen to podcasts, and then pretty much just work on my lunch breaks when I had them. And sometimes the second job I was at, I didn't have a 30-minute lunch break. I had maybe like 10 minutes to have a break. So I'd split it up, and I'd scarf down food for 5 minutes, and then I would post a quick story and send out some messages for the other 5 minutes. So it's really just finding little pieces of time to do things like, and if you have kids, if your kid's taking a nap, you're putting laundry in, but then just send out a couple quick messages. You don't have to do everything all at once. And sometimes like even reach out to your leader and see if they can help you figure out a schedule. I've done that with a couple of my girls, and it's helped them significantly. So if you're really struggling with that, reach out to somebody so they can help you figure out a schedule that's going to really work for you so you can utilize your time.
I love that. And I just have to say, the whole reason I knew that Tabitha really wanted this business is because she reached out to me, right? Because we talked to so many girls. I mean, like even for me, and maybe there's some other leaders on here, we got big teams, right? And as much as we think to remind you about Zooms or just here and there, we are not going to work your business for you. And we don't know. Let me just ask you this. We don't know that you're struggling. It's kind of like really quick. If you were in school and you were struggling with a problem on your math test, would you go up and ask the teacher? You would, right? Because they're the math teacher, right? If you are having a problem, whether it's homework, a test, whatever, a study guide, you went and asked, right? Even in college, I went and asked the professor. I was like, hey, I don't understand this question, or I'd email them. So my question to you is, why don't you reach out to your leader if you feel like you're struggling? If you feel like, I don't know what to say, I need help with this screenshot. Guys, we're here to help you. And the whole reason I knew Tabitha was like on the ball game all over again is because she blew up my phone every day. And she didn't feel guilty about it because she knew that she was worth my time. She knew she wasn't just blowing me up to just be annoying. She was blowing me up because she wanted to be successful and she wanted to learn. Those are the girls that we work with, is the ones that reach out. Do you see what I'm saying? So I love that, Tabitha. And I had to say that because I just feel like from the beginning, you've just been in my phone. You know what I mean? Like, you've been on my mind because you're right there in the morning. Hey, I did this, or hey, I want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I blew up to be honest, I blew up my enroller's phone for like 2 years. Like, I did not care. Like, I was talking to her every day. Yeah, about life stuff too. But it was like advice on what to do, how to go to the next level. Drop a 2 if you're serious about this business. If you want an extra income, part-time or full-time, do you want it? Yes or no? You know what I mean? Like, drop a 2 if that's you. Now I have a follow-up question for those of you dropping 2s. We've only got a couple more questions here, guys, so stick with us. Drop a 3 if you don't reach out to your enroller every day. And be totally honest, right? Be totally honest. Because if you want this, there's a lot of 3s. You should be reaching out to your leader. Even if that's just updating them on how the business is going. Connect with them. You joined them for a reason, right? You watched me, Tabitha, whoever your leader is, for a reason. So reach out to them. But Tabs, I love how much you've talked about your why. Like, thank you so much for talking about that, because you're right, it's going to change. I joined for grocery money. I made that back in my first month. Things have changed. Listen, life is going to be hard. Life is always going to be hard. To be honest, the last 2 weeks, I've had a lot of family stuff going on that I haven't made publicly, and I probably won't share for a while, at least until we get things figured out. But no, but it's crazy because you wouldn't think of me and look at my page and be like, Haley's going through a lot. You wouldn't think that, right? Because I show up. I show up every day, regardless of what's going on, right? No matter what. You know, I know people who have personally lost people or personally gone through so much life, lost their job, lost their house, but yet they're still on their social media. Why? Because their future family is important to them. Their legacy is important to them. I'm not saying don't take care of you. Please do. You know, I take care of me. I want you guys to take care of you. But look at me. Don't forget your business, because you're going to wish that you would have stayed consistent with it. I promise you that. Oh my gosh. Love that, Caitlin. I just read her message in the chat. What is the hardest obstacle you've had thus far in this business, and how did you overcome it? I'm like interested in this one.
So the hardest obstacle that I had was comparing myself. And a lot of times you'll hear it on Zooms and they say, don't look left, don't look right. I wasn't doing that. I was looking behind me and comparing myself to the first time that I did this. I was comparing myself to what I did last month, last week, yesterday. And that was such a hard thing. And me and Haley like went back and forth. I'm like, but I've been doing this for 3 years. And she's like, you've been doing this for like 30 days. What are you talking about? You just joined. Like, you are new. You just joined. Of course, you're not going to have 50 distributors all just popping diamonds and rubies and doing everything. Like, you are brand new. And so that was kind of the biggest thing that I had to make a huge mindset shift on, was every day is a new day. And I had to stop looking in the past at what I used to do and who I used to be, and focus on today, focus on tomorrow, focus on the future me, and just really focus on moving forward instead of keep looking in my rearview mirror at woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Wow. And that, and for me, just hearing that, I feel like everybody related to that. Drop a yes if you related to what she just said. And I want to touch briefly on what Brittany just put in the chat, because I think that is so important. She said, I think about it, if I was at my 9 to 5, I wouldn't be able to have off like I feel like I needed. So I feel so grateful to have this and have options. It motivates me to work my business, because she's so right. She is her own boss. Tabitha, you are your own boss. I am my own boss. You get to take care of you. For the first time in your life, you get to put you first. And that motivates me to move my business, because I don't want to go back and work in a chemistry lab. That was not fun. I burned myself so many times on freaking chemicals. Like, I don't want to go back to that life. I don't know why I got the chemistry degree, people. I don't know. But I thought it was a good idea. That's what I was told to do, right? And I just want you guys to realize your happiness is first in this business. It's first. And that is something that I personally have never found in another job, because it's always been somebody else's happiness, my boss, my coworkers. I got to fill in for them, right? I've never been able to put me first. And because I'm able to put me first and take care of me, I'm able to build a team and take care of them because I take care of me. Does that make sense? So going into that, how are you personally training your girls? Because you're a freaking mass distributor and roller, bringing in multiple every single month. So how are you training your girls when you first bring them in, right? Because I feel like right when they come in, like that's the scariest part. They feel like they just like freaking gave you money and they're like, what do I do? Like, just gave this girl money and now I don't know what's gonna happen. So how do you train your distributor, whether even your first friend, you know what I mean? Like, we're all going for the 4-1. How do you train that first girl?
So I really just focus on the basics. Like, I won't go and like start teaching TikTok to girls yet, because they need to figure out how to do the basics first. They need to learn how to add people, how to follow people, how to message people, how to reach out to their dirt list, how to do host to post. And then once they're comfortable with those things and they feel like they fit into their schedule and they're like ready for more, then I'll start teaching them more things. But for me, I'd rather just have them focus on the basic things that got all of like our top leaders to where they are now. Like, TikTok's a brand new thing. That's not something that people had 5 years ago when they were going ambassador diamond and all of that. So I just start right off the bat with their life post. I have them put up a giveaway post to get more people in and start putting up posts for them. That way they immediately just hit their warm market and have tons of potentials. And I have a lot of girls getting their foreign friend in their first week or two, just from doing things like that. And I really prioritize my distributors. So like in my text messages, I have all of my girls in their first 30 days pinned to the top of my messages, along with like my boyfriend and my leaders, because those are the important people. You know what I mean? I don't want them getting buried when I start doing follow-ups. I want them right at the top. That way, when they have questions, I can answer them as soon as possible, because I remember what it was like when I had no clue how to respond to people. And I always felt like I couldn't leave them on red. So I want to help them respond back to people while people are like actively having a conversation with them.
Love that. Love that so much. And it's so crazy because we think about those little things and we're like, how do we prioritize our girls? It's like, you just do it. I love that. That's such a simple thing that I feel like everybody can do. So whenever you bring in your girl, pin her to the top. I think that's only for iPhones though, right? I don't think Androids can do that, but I mean, either way, maybe you could find a way. I personally even love, even in times where I feel like I have too many things pinned, I will put like cute little hearts next to my girls, like a bunch of hearts, so that if I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't message her back this morning, right there, boom, message her back. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you can get kind of caught up in things. So I love that, Tabitha. Last question. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat for her. She will answer them for you. You guys have been so amazing. Let's give her some love as well, really quick, before if you guys have any questions, go ahead and like drop them below. But give her some love, because seriously, so grateful for you. This is your first like interview Zoom and you're freaking killing it. So last question from me, and then if anybody else has any questions, we'll answer those. But why do you think self-development / like taking time for yourself is so important and should be a priority? Because it's kind of hard when you're doing this full-time or part-time. You can really shove yourself to the side and you can be like, oh, like I just got to send out these messages, even if you're in like a bad mood. Has anybody ever done that? Drop a 1. I've definitely done that. Not good. I'm like, I just got to send them out. I just got to get a customer. I need to finish my 4 and a friend. You get in this desperate place. But I feel like if you're self-developing or you take time to self-develop, you don't get there, right? Or you bring yourself out of that. So why do you think that is so important?
So self-development has kind of been like one of the main things that I really had to do. It's something that I never did before. And that's what really made the difference in my business is that I started self-developing, and I went from being desperate for customers to just attracting all of the right people. So like most of my customers and distributors, they've been on my page for 2-3 years. They've seen the way I used to post, and I probably messaged them like 2 years ago. But now I'm actually putting out like positive energy to where I'm attracting them, and they want to be on my team. They want to be a customer with me because they know that I'm going to take care of them, and they can feel that when I'm messaging them. And it's super easy, especially if you're at another job, to feel drained. Like when I was working at my jobs, I was so physically drained by the end of the day, where I felt so resentful towards my business. And I was like, I can't believe I have to send messages right now. I just worked a 13-hour shift. Why would I want to sit here for 10 minutes and send messages or talk to people? I don't want to do that. I did, but I wasn't getting results doing that. And especially once I left my job, I really needed to make a huge switch. And I literally started journaling every day about where I was going, what my goals were. And that's when things started changing, because I was taking care of myself. And I don't message people. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll read my devotional and I'll journal. I do coloring books. I'll listen to like music and take a bubble bath. Like I get myself back to where I need to be before I start messaging anybody, because I don't want them picking up on my crappy mood. So that's why I think that's important.
I love that. Really quick, somebody private messaged, so I don't think you can see it because it says just to me. They wondered how you journal. Like what, I don't think they're asking like what you journal about. I mean, maybe, but like how you journal. If there's like a style of like maybe how you start every sentence or how you go through it.
I kind of just brain dump when I journal, because I don't necessarily like sit down and journal every single morning, because sometimes my days just look different. But when I do journal, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll journal about what I'm in a bad mood about, you know? Sometimes I'll write like 10 pages worth of stuff just to like get it out of my head. And then other times it's like 1 page and I'm like, this girl on my team is doing fantastic. I'm so proud of her. I'm so grateful for her. I'll journal about like other sideline sisters. And I'm like, you know what? I really hope she gets her success bonus. She's been working so hard. I see so-and-so really, really working hard in our chat. I hope she gets her foreigner friend this week so she can pay for that bill next week. So I kind of just journal about different things and try to get out negative and put out positive.
Wow. Love that so much. And wow, I didn't know you did that. I'm like gonna cry. You're so cute. I can't believe you like journal about the team. I'm just like so amazed and so blessed for you, babe. Somebody asked, what's your schedule like now that you are full-time? So maybe going from like part-time to full-time, what does that look like for you? I feel like it's different for everybody, but obviously she wants to know, what's that look like for you?
So it's kind of different every day. When I first went full-time, I was very much on a routine, and like I would still set an alarm and I would get up, I'd make my coffee, sit at my desk for like 2 hours and just get like a bunch of work done and then take breaks. But now I kind of just figured out how to work all around my apartment, or if I'm going out for the day, like I'll just rearrange my schedule around whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm driving up to Haley's, I know it takes me an hour and a half to get there. So I wake up a little bit earlier, I get work done because I know that's going to be kind of chaotic when I get there. But pretty much my whole day is kind of just like, I always post about my coffee. I always post about my day. I post about the business, and I just make sure that I get like my tasks done for the day that I need to do.
I love that. I love that. I feel like in the beginning when I started, I went from part-time to full-time, I made like a little checklist of like boxes. I was like, follow 50 in the morning, follow 50 at night. Like it was like very like checklist because I didn't want to forget anything, right? So I know some of these questions, if you guys have these questions and we don't answer them, it's just because I feel like maybe your leader could ask that, like answer these. But there was one that I saw that was actually really good. Hold on one second. Oh, here it is. Tomorrow is my third week in this business. I struggle with feeling like I struggle with feeling like I'm doing my post/stories maybe not the right way a lot. Like she struggles to like, oh, how do I do this the right way? What's your advice for that if she feels like she's not doing them the right way? I feel like you got a good answer for this. I'm looking at the smile. You got it. You got it.
So I've been doing this for like 7 months, and I had a coaching call with Haley on like the 3rd or the 4th, and I literally said the same thing to her. So there's no right way to do it. As long as you're showing your life and you're incorporating the business and the products into it, that's all that matters. You don't need to have like this luxury life to show people. And that's kind of how I was feeling. I'm like, but I don't have Cassie Westland's backyard to take cute coffee pictures in. So why would someone get coffee from me? And Haley's like, Tab, if they want coffee, they're gonna get coffee, whether you have like a lake in the background or not. Like they don't care about the lake, they care about the coffee, and they care about like you. That's why they're following you and not somebody else. So my best advice would just be to show yourself. You know, if you have kids, show your kids, show your pets, show your significant other, show where you live. Like I've got dead palm trees in my courtyard, but I still take a picture on the side of the palm tree that has a green leaf on it. And I put a filter so it looks a little bit greener, you know, but those are dead. You guys don't know they're dead from my page, but like they're not looking too good, you know?
I'm dead. I didn't know they were dead. I didn't know. I'm like, oh my God, these are beautiful. I've even swiped up on your story and I'm like, oh, these are so cute. I love it. I love it so
Heather
much.
Brown.
You know what? I love the transparency that you have. Like, so grateful that you are so transparent. I think that's going to play into this next question because somebody asked, do you have a vision board right now for all the goals that you want to achieve this year?
I do. I have it right in front of me. And pretty much all I have on my vision board is like goals that I have for my business, my dream distributor, like what qualities I want from the girls coming into my team, goals that I have for the girls on my team, debt that I want to pay off. I have all my debt to the penny on my board because if I'm ever feeling like, well, I don't know what to do, I look at that, I'm like, that's a big number. I gotta keep going here to get that number down. So what do I want my team to look like? I want girls that are like me. I want girls that can continue to create new whys to motivate themselves, because motivation is kind of like here and there. Like you have to just be determined. You're not always going to feel motivated, but you need to find a way to get out of bed or get off the couch and put work in. This isn't like a normal 9 to 5 where you clock in and you can like hide in the bathroom for an hour and still get paid. This is a business, and this is how you're going to build your future and create the life that you see all these other girls posting about that you want.
I love that. And I will say really quick, one thing I love about Tabitha, and feel free to drop a 1. Do you feel like you guys, if you feel this way, drop a 1. Do you feel like you're posting the same stories, the same videos, the same posts, like you're doing the same stuff every day? Like drop a 1 if you feel like that's you. That's awesome, because Tabitha felt that way. And she reached out to me and she was like, I feel like I'm just posting the same stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. And I literally told her, I said, you need to pick 5 things that are your brand. And you need to talk about them in different ways every day. I'm not just talking about talk about different products. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. And I want you to know if you're not seeing success from something, so example, Facebook posts. I don't know if you guys do this, but you guys know how you like delete like Facebook posts if like they don't pop off like in a day or something. We don't keep them on our feed because obviously that can bring our algorithm down, right? We've talked about that. Same way, if you are seeing that like maybe like some of your stuff just, and I'm not saying delete it, but I'm saying if you're seeing that like, oh my gosh, like this really isn't bringing in any customers. Example, I'm gonna give you a prime example of this really quick. Facebook Lives. I used to do Facebook Lives all the dang time, like literally all the time. And you know what else I used to do? I used to make my coffee on my story every single morning. But listen to me. I'm not saying you need to do this, but listen, that stopped bringing in customers. I don't know what happened, but Facebook Lives and me making my coffee on my story stopped bringing in people. But you know what was? On those days where I was in a rush and I took like a cute little boomerang of my coffee and put all the benefits and then showed results, that brought in people. So I'm still doing that. And I still do that to this day. You want to know why? Because before I got on this Zoom, someone swiped up and messaged me coffee. I'm changing it up with what I'm seeing results of. And I did more of that. And Tabitha's doing the exact same thing. I feel like people are like, well, how do I get the results? Do what is working and 10x that, right? Because for me, Facebook Host Post wasn't really working for me last month. Drop a 2 if Facebook Host Post hasn't been popping out the way you want it, because that was me last month. But this month, I can't keep up. I got people messaging me, Haley, there are 16 comments on the gummies post you had me put up. Are you going to answer these people? I'm like, yeah, hold on. I'm going to get to them. And I'm getting up like 5 a day and they're all blowing up. Such a blessing. I'm going to get back to everybody. I got to do that tonight before I go to bed. Seriously, I've been behind on it for like a week. But at the time, I didn't really put all my effort into Host to Post. I was bringing in more people from messaging than I was from Host to Post last month and from TikToks. So where did I put my time? Into my TikToks, into my messaging on Instagram. Do you guys see what I'm saying? If you're seeing results, if you've seen customers from Instagram messaging, why aren't you doing it every day? Why aren't you doing that more, right? If you're seeing results from TikTok, why are you not posting more TikToks every day? If you're seeing results from Facebook Host Posts, why are you not getting up at least 10 every day? If you're seeing results from Facebook posts and live posting, and you know that it's important to do that. If you go to Tabitha's page, you're not going to see one freaking meme on that girl's page. You're not going to see some shared family recipe on her page. You're going to see Tabitha and her dog and the products. You wonder how this girl is bringing in people? Because it's so easy. It's simple. We have an entire boards app, and I'm sure anybody who's on a different team, you have it, with Facebook post ideas, live post ideas. Use it. I'm constantly changing ours and trying to shake it up and use different stuff. Utilize it and don't post the same stuff every single day. If you posted a coffee picture that was from the boards app yesterday, post a picture of you with your coffee today, right? Or tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? Change it up. Do not post the same stuff every single day, because no one wants to see the same crap every day, right? They want to see that you're doing something new. They want to see something different. And if you're like, well, Haley, I'm not really doing anything different. Okay, great. Use some of my stuff that we put in the boards app, and then use some of your good stuff, which is your face, okay? And post that. So I hope that helps you guys, because I feel like we all feel like we're in the same cycle. We're like, oh crap, we're doing the same stuff every day, right? But are you doing more of what's producing results? It's okay. Don't leave out following, because we all know that works, right? Don't miss a day of following. I'll tell you right now, Tabitha doesn't miss a day. Tabitha doesn't miss a day of following. That girl is working so hard to build up her following every day. But are you doing what you need to do to see results, right? Because you know what gets you results. You know when your host supposed to blow up, right? You're like, oh, I'm busy, right? And then you stop posting the host post and you're like, wait a minute. And you're like, I haven't posted the giveaway since like at all. I haven't posted the giveaway this month. So how do you expect to bring in the results if you're not doing the things that you need to do to bring in the results like you have? Okay. So I hope that helps you guys. Switch it up, be yourself, find your brand, find 5 things that represent you. Right? Tabitha, I feel like you know it, but what's off the top of your head? What are your 5 things that represent you now?
So I feel like I don't have 5 just yet, but I have a few more than I had when we talked at the beginning of the month, because you asked me that. I was like, I have coffee. But now, like, my pillars that I'm figuring out is my dog, Ruby. People swipe up on her stories all the time. So I post her every single day, and I post her on my Facebook now too. And she's kind of like the buffer posts in between like weight loss or business. I post about my boyfriend. I don't like take videos of him because he doesn't like that. But like his hands will like be in the corner, or like I take a video of him playing video games behind his back and he doesn't know I posted it, but that's fine. Yeah, the back of him, it works. Like he's an act, they know him, they see him, he exists, he can be a pillar, you know? I post about like us cooking or me baking. Like people on that follow me know that I stress bake and I make like hundreds of cupcakes on random days. And so now everyone's blowing me up for recipes. So that's going to be a pillar. I'm going to start posting like baking recipes. And even today, like I posted me like swirling some mashed potatoes, and people were swiping up on that. They're like, oh, that looks cool. And it's just mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? It's nothing crazy. But those are like my 3 pillars. I need to, a 4th one could be Florida. I post about Florida because, and my dead palm trees.
And it's so funny because that's like mine, like where I live, right? Alex, my husband, my dog, Honey. I usually post like, I'll post like scripture or word or my devotions. God is one of my pillars. And then I feel like my 5th one changes. Like it'll be like shopping and traveling, or you know what I mean? Like it's just like the fun side of Haley, right? Not saying my dog isn't the fun side of me, because she really is. But I'm just saying, like, find your brand, find who you are, share that. Because just like Tabitha said in the very beginning of this Zoom, they followed you. They're watching you. They want to see you. They don't just want to see your coffee or your cleanse or your business opportunity that you posted 3 days ago and you're posting the same thing again. Post something different, something that people, because I promise, I don't want you to be like, well, Haley, no one's going to be interested in this. I'm going to tell you right now, your people are interested in your kids and how you raise them. They're interested, right? They want to know how you're doing it. They're interested in your pets. They're interested in your relationship. If you're in a relationship, people want advice. How have you kept your man for so long? Right? What do you guys do on date nights? Right? What are like, I did a Q&A for me and Alex. That was so fun. So many people had so many questions about our marriage, and it was fun putting that out there. Right? And you don't always have to do it with your significant other. Do it for yourself and just answer the questions. But do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, people get invested in your lives, and that's why they stick around. People are like, well, how do you keep your followers? I'm like, I post my life. I post my marriage. I post my dog. I post God, because those are the things I love. You know what I mean? So post what you love. And if you guys don't have any other questions, Tabitha, thank you so much. You stayed on for so long. You're the best. Seriously, so grateful for you. Can we say thank you in the chat? You did amazing. You literally even gave me 2 tips. I wrote them down. I got 2 things I'm going to do after this Zoom that I took from that, because that was amazing. But seriously, so grateful for you. And yeah, dude, close it out. You got it, girl.
So I know when you're just starting out, it's so easy to get discouraged if you don't accomplish something right away. And it's funny because these popped up in like my time hop. But so I'm a cake decorator. I have like a degree in pastry arts. It's an actual thing. But so this was the first cake I ever made. It's ugly. It's very ugly, right? That was in 2011. And had I based my success with cake decorating off of that, I never would have been able to make cakes like this. And that's 5 years later, because it's something that I worked at every single day. And every day I learned something new. You always have something new to learn, and there's always something else you can do to get to where you're going. So don't base your success off of your first week, your first month, your first 6 months, your first year. Keep going, because you're only going to get better, and you're only going to get more success and more blessings. So just keep learning every day like it's your first day, and you'll get to where you need to be.
Wow, heck yes. On that note, mic drop, and we're going to end this Zoom because that was freaking incredible. Tabitha, thank you. You are such a gift. You're such a blessing. And I'm so grateful for you just preaching into everybody. And there's so many new girls on here that I feel like needed that, and even leaders that needed everything that you said. So thank you so much. You're the best. Guys, go out there, go get your 4-in-1s. go out there and talk to your leader every single day, and go out there and do things that are going to produce results. We love you guys, and we hope you guys have an amazing month. Bye, guys.